Hello everyone and welcome to Fresno, California at the Big Fresno Fair. In 2009 we have a A-Truck lineup coming to you, starting off with Busted Knuckles driven by Christian Holt, followed by Comet driven by Fred Moore. Heartstopper, brand new truck on the tour with Zoe Summerfield behind the wheel. Livewire driven by Mark Foster. Plain Jane driven by Jane Fernsby. Rat Trap 3 driven by its new permanent driver, Matt Reynolds. Followed by the final two, Silver Streak driven by Buck Miller and Witch Hunt driven by Clay Dixon. We have an insane 8-truck lineup coming at you right now as we look into round one. As we go into our first round matchups, we're going to be starting off with Silver Streak taking on Plain Jane, followed by Witch Hunt taking on Busted Knuckles. After that, we'll see Comet taking on Rat Trap, and to round out our round one matchups will be Heartstopper taking on Livewire. As we get them lined up for our first round matchup, Silver Streak in the far lane, Plain Jane in the near lane. They're both dead even off the line. Jane a little bit of an edge, but Silver Streak is going to edge them out at the line. Jane is going on the trailer, while Silver Streak is seeing the second round. Next up is going to be Witch Hunt taking on Busted Knuckles. Both the Core Monster regulars going to duke it out right here in the second matchup. Witch Hunt gets down on the ground first. Busted Knuckles all types of squirrely. And Witch Hunt will be moving on to the next round. Now it's that brand new looking Comet taking on Rat Trap 3, the safety clean. Off the line, they're dead even. Comet gets down on the ground first, and he is just going to edge out Rat Trap 3. What a race to the line. So far, every race being decided by that start. Final race to round out the first round. Heartstopper taking on Livewire. Heartstopper absolutely left at the line, and that's going to be an easy win for Livewire. Brand new truck and driver. Gonna start learning the ropes, just gotta learn to cut that light. Now, looking at round two, or the semifinals, it's Silver Streak taking on Witch Hunt, followed by Comet taking on Livewire. Should be a great semifinal action, and that first race is sure gonna be a doozy between Silver Streak and Witch Hunt. It's gonna be see who can get off the line first, who can get on the ground, who's gonna get the win. The green goes, they're off the line, Silver Streak slight edge, but Witch Hunt once again gets on the ground fast enough and ekes out Silver Streak, putting Buck Miller on the trailer, and Clay Dixon with his debut here going to the finals. Now, who can make it to the finals as well? It will be Comet or Livewire. Off the line, Livewire gets a little bit of an edge, a little bit squirrely, but gets the win over Comet. No argument there. That was all Mark Foster and Livewire. Our final round is going to be Clay Dixon and Witch Hunt taking on Mark Foster and Livewire. Witch Hunt has been on the light all night, so let's see what Livewire can do. He gets him off the line, but look at Witch Hunt get down on the ground. They're coming to the line. It is so close, but it is going to be Witch Hunt taking home the victory here in Fresno, California, our debut show on the West Coast. What a win for Clay Dixon and Witch Hunt. He just could get the power down on the ground, just outpowered Livewire to the line. And with that excitement, we're rolling right in to Freestyle. Our first truck out is going to be Comet, followed by Heartstopper. Third out will be Witch Hunt, followed by Plain Jane in fourth. Rat Trap will be our fifth truck out. Livewire sixth, Silver Streak seventh. And to round out the field is the 2000 Freestyle champion, Christian Holt and Busted Knuckles. We are looking at a great freestyle lineup here, but we're going to go ahead and get this started off with Fred Moore in Comet. Coming out of the pits, looking like he might be lining up for that fresh car right there at the end of the track. Going to try and start it off with a wheelie. Nice little slap wheelie. We're going to start off here. Beautiful truck, brand new design, looking sweet. And you drive for about 60 seconds. It's a long, narrow track, but there's a lot of obstacles in your way, so it's going to be who can keep up the momentum the fastest. So far, Comet doing a nice little race pass, just keeping the speed up of the truck, and that's going to be a big thing on this track. But you also got to start looking at some unique moves that you can do. Comet going to sling it into some donuts here at the end of the track, whipping it around, getting some good rotation, almost going for some cyclones. Now going for the backside of the racing lane, gets it almost vertical, about that perfect 45. Now going for the van stack, up and over, just keeping the speed up. Not a lot of air, but just making sure to hit everything in his way. Now going for the center obstacle, looking for a little bit of air here. That's a steep ramp. Nice little sky wheelie, gets it down, good slap wheelie, dragging the back of the chassis all the way to the end of the course. Just missing the wheelie bump car at the end. filling out the time with that move. Going to do a little bit extra hits for you fans. Going for the backside of the racing lane. On the red side this time, beautiful Skyway digging the back into the chassis. And that's going to be it for Comet. That's going to be a 23 to start us off. Good run from Fred Moore. Now, on to the brand new driver, Zoe Summerfield in Heartstopper. Brand new truck, brand new chassis. Still only has 1 or 2 shows underneath of it from some non-televised events, but she has shown that she's not afraid to hit the gas, as seen by the first hit over the red stack, getting a good sky wheelie. Loops around over the blue stack. Looking for another race pass, getting some good air at the end there. About matching what we saw out of her in racing. Now going for the wheelie bump here. It's a nice, perfect degree. Gets a great slap wheelie, almost putting it on the tailgate. Brings it back just enough to where it doesn't get her in trouble. Up and over the center stack as well. She has no fear of what's in front of her. That is for sure. Just pointing, shooting, getting over each obstacle. Now going for the van. Up and over, dancing the rear tires up and over the van. A little slap wheelie, gets a little bit in trouble. Almost kicked over there. Getting a little bit up and over the racing lane. Just kind of crawls and dances across the top of the cars. Now relining back up for the blue lane. Going for a sky wheelie here. Doesn't get it as vertical as Comet. But still, putting on a great show, and that is going to do it for Zoe and Heartbreaker, or Heartstopper. Now going for the van stack one more time, putting on a little bit of extra for you fans here in Fresno. Like I said, this is our first time here on the West Coast, so definitely trying to make sure that we put on a show. Get to come on back here next year. Now she's going to bring it around. Looks like that's going to be it for Heartstopper, going to be a 21. Not bad. Now, our racing winner, Clay Dixon in Witch Hunt. Going to try and make it a double down here. Going for 2. Going to start off with some donuts. Actually going into some cyclones. Whipping that truck around right into its next move. Right over that center obstacle. Looking like he was trying to go for a little bit of a slap wheelie there. Just couldn't get the rear to settle how he wanted. Not like racing. That thing could just get going on the ground. No issue. Up and over the racing lane. Now marking his way down to the end. And going to march his way on back. Going for the wheelie hit. Gets a nice little sky wheelie. Gets it back. Oh, man! Gets on the gas. Actually wheelies it so hard using all of the wheelie bar. Lifting the rear tires off the ground. What a spectacular tail dragging wheelie. Just putting all the right foot down that he could. Now up and over the van stack. Going for the center obstacle. Might be looking for some air. Good air, kind of just skies it nose high, but what a landing. Almost bottoming out the shocks. Bit of a rough landing there for Clay and Witch Hunt. Looks like he's going to crawl over that little wheelie bump car. Wasn't lined up how he wanted. Now going for the blue racing lane. Going to bury that wheelie bar in. And it rips the pin out, and that's going to be a tie for first. What a run for Witch Hunt. Now, Jane Fernsby and Plain Jane. This is one of the drivers I've been paying attention to so far on the Lightning Nationals. She has improved so dramatically from her first show to now. And starting it off with a great slap wheelie and a combo into the backside of the blue racing lane. Showing no fear of putting that right foot down. Just showing the power and the technical ability that she's been learning over these years. Already going for the center obstacle. Going for some big air. Huge leap. Gonna land on the rear, keeping the truck together. Could have been a hurt hit there. Could have seen a tie rod or a 4-lane go just as easily. But no risk, no reward. And Jane is just airing it off the back end of that racing stack. Just clears an extra 3 cars past. Now whips it back around. Looking to go for the van stack. Going to go for a little bit of a cross start right here. Almost in trouble. Actually gets herself back down and under control. She's definitely throwing it out there, trying to get the truck into some precarious situations, but driving herself out of it. Now going for the wheelie stack, actually getting huge air once again. Now going for the center obstacle, going to sky it out for some distance one more time. Going to combo it with the slap wheelie into the van stack. Combo Queen is what she's going to be nicknamed here in just a moment. But it looks like that might be it for Jane. Might be going for one more hit. Going to blast it down the racing lane one more time. Almost in trouble. Getting squirrely up and over the wheelie bump car. Keeps it underneath of her. And I think she might be going for more. She might be turning around and going to go for a little bit more. Might be putting on some donuts for you fans. These last few hits haven't counted, but she does not care. She's making sure that you're going home with a show. And that's going to be Jane and Plain Jane taking the lead with a 24. Now on to Matt Reynolds and Rat Trap 3. Brand new driver for this truck. Finally got settled in. Gonna start off with a great sky wheelie, putting the rear wheelie bar into this obstacle, putting it into that third car, just ditting it down. And now whipping it around, goes past the van stack, going for a racing lane. Gonna do one blast pass down here. Getting some good speed. Now turns it around. Might be going for a wheelie here. This truck can do some nasty power wheelies, but doesn't get the gas in time. There didn't feel comfortable with how the truck landed, but that time he did. Look at it, just power the front end up. Just bouncing off the front tires right into a wheelie. Now wraps it around, going for the blue racing lane. Goes up and over the roller, going for the center obstacle. Actually going to dance the rear tires up and over. Going for another great slap wheelie. Drags the wheelie bar. Going to flatten out that wheelie car even more. That thing is becoming nothing. But now wrapping it around, coming back, Matt. Going for another sky wheelie. Going to put it all the way to the rear. Puts it on the tailgate and just rips the switch out of it. And that is going to be enough to tie for first with Jane. That's going to be a 24 for Matt Reynolds and Rat Trap. Now, on to Mark Foster in Livewire. This is a driver that does not shy away from the spectacular. Has definitely had his moments. Has had some pretty incredible runs and looking to shape that up here in Fresno. Already starting off pretty big off the roller. Now over the van stack. Now go for the center obstacle. Going for some air. Absolutely launching the truck up and over. No problem. That suspension just soaks it up so well. Just built so well. Now going for another wheelie. Doesn't get it as well as he was hoping for, but going to launch it over the backside of the racing lane. Going to try and go for a cross thread right here. Just crushes up and over the van sideways. That was wicked. Now going over the racing lane one more time. Just keeping the speed up. Just flooring it. He sees something. He's pointing at it. He's shooting at it. And he's just going to just blast his way right up and over. Just like he did on the wheelie bump. Almost finding himself in trouble. Gets the truck back down. Now just dancing it up and over the center obstacle. Got about 5 seconds left. Gonna wrap it back around here. Looks like we might count this last move. Gonna end up with some donuts. Going for 1. Going for 2. Are we going for 3 rotation? Gonna cut it there. Coming out to the van stack. Now these hits are for you fans. It looks like he's lining up for the center obstacle. He's gonna get the largest air that we've seen so far. Absolutely launching the truck. Rips it around. Might be going for one more hit for you fans, but no, he's going to park it up here on the front, give you a wave, and a waving to the lead at a 26. Now, our second last truck, Buck Miller and Silver Streak, threw down in Oklahoma City, Oklahoma for the freestyle victory. Now, can he do it again here in Fresno at the big Fresno Fair? Now, he's looking for some redemption from racing. Got knocked out in the semis. Looking for the win here and already showing why. Already has 3 great hits underneath and another slap wheelie off the center stack, just making it look effortless. Gonna wrap it around here, looking for some air. Might be going for the backside of the race and gonna launch it. Look at the air, look at the distance that he is launching that truck. Probably the longest air that we've seen off that so far tonight. Now Buck Miller going for the center stack one more time. Gonna go for even more air. Look at the launch. Oh, he's nose high. Gonna be in trouble. No, he's going to bring it down, keeping the truck underneath him, looping it around, has about 10 seconds left, slows it down pretty drastically there. Now he's going to go for some more distance. Look at the leap into the racing lane. Oh, almost in trouble. Keeps the truck underneath of him. No breakage, no nothing, and he's whapping it back around. And he's whopping that throttle all the way down the straightaway, and he's going to get sideways again. Oh, Buck, and he's into the obstacle. What a move. That wasn't intentional, but he's going to be in the lead with a 28. That is going to be a tough act to follow. But to follow that is the 2000 Freestyle Champion Christian Holt and Busted Knuckles. This truck has treated him well or has treated him poorly. He can either last the full time or he can be done in 30 seconds. It all depends on how heavy that right foot is. And currently it looks like we're shaping up for a great run. Already comboing it up. Huge air off the center stack once again. But we're going to be expecting more out of this driver. He still has over 40 seconds left. Now goes for what looked to be a slap wheel, looking for some distance. Actually gets a little bit sideways, hits the red lane, stuffs the front end in. And it looks like he's already separated of 4-lane. The truck is falling apart. This thing could be in a basket here momentarily. up and over the racing lane. He's sideways, though. He's off the center stack. He's going to shove the front end in. He's going to tumble with 20 seconds left. That's going to be too early. That's going to be a 21. So your freestyle champion on the Lightning Nationals for the second time this year will be Buck Miller in Silver Streak, followed by Livewire, driven by Mark Foster, then Jane Fernsby in Plain Jane, and then the new driver, Matt Reynolds in Rat Trap 3. In 5th place, we have Fred Moore in Comet, and then 6th, we have Clay Dixon in Witch Hunt, and then we have the brand new driver, Zoe in Heartstopper at the bottom, tied with Christian Holt with a 21. What a event here in Fresno, California. Some exciting action, some insane racing, and we hope you enjoyed, and we'll see you in the next one.